All right, so I'm in the process of putting up some additional lighting for my girls, and I'm moving things around, and I moved Peachy. So Peachy I've had since January of this year. I'll put a picture of her blooms up for you. And then I put her in this pot probably end of April, beginning of May. She hasn't been in here very long. But I wanted to initially put her in this basket here that I bought a few months ago from the Dollar Tree. I have another phal that is in one of these, and I just really like the way that looks, and with all the aeration and possibly roots going through there, I thought that looked really cool. So I was waiting for her to put on some more growth. So she has actually finished off this leaf that you see right here. And then if we look inside there, I'm not sure, let's see if we can see it. There it is. But she does have a new leaf growing right down in there. Additionally, and then this goes back to my previous video as far as going into growth, she has growing root tips there. She's got growing root tips on that one. And then she's got a mass of growing root tips here. So what I did is I went ahead and soaked her. So I thought I'd show you, but this is the bowl that I use to soak my big pots in when I'm soaking. And all I do is I put it in there, and then I just fill the water up to right above the rim of the pot that's in there, and I let them soak for a little bit. And then I take it out, let it drain, dump the water, and then set them back in here until they're completely drained out. So I did soak her for a really good 15-20 minutes. And the reason that I did that was so that all this media in here would be nice and wet for her transition, because I am going to not only put her in this, I'm going to just fill around with large bark right here. And I'm not repotting her, I'm going to up pot her. So since this media is not that bad, so here's the plan. I'm just going to pick her up out, keep as much of the media around her as I can, put her in the basket, and then just fill around it, and then it's like nothing happened. That's the plan. So let's get started. First thing I have to do is obviously cut this wire that I have her tied to so that she stays a little straighter. Okay, and can I just take that off of there? Yes, I can. All right, so let's just take that stake out, because we will be using the stake again here in a few moments. And then I'm gonna just clip it off there. That is all there's that. Now the fun part, and I'm gonna stick her in here so that whatever falls will fall in here. But you know what, before we do that, let me put my moss at the bottom. And I'm putting moss at the bottom just so that small pieces of media don't fall out. Additionally, any excess water that might still be in there stays absorbed by the moss and doesn't drip onto the plant that is below where she sits, because she does sit on a plant shelf. So let's just grab some of this real quick and just spread it around. All right, too much. I don't want a big layer. I just want enough to keep that from falling in. There we go. All right. So I'm still going to squeeze the side of the pot just to make sure. And like I said, I gave her a good soak, so these roots are nice and pliable. We do have this one little root right here that is trying to peek out. I'm hoping not to break it. So I am going to grab her from the base and maybe, oh, you know what? Let's see. Let me see if I can just get up under her and kind of flip her a little bit. And just put her, nope, that, you know, best laid plans of mice and men, people. All right, well, that's okay. We will just finish, and I'm going to go ahead and push that root through. And, well, that did not work out the way I wanted it to. So, still going to use this media though, because it is wet. That was the purpose of it. And we will just take and pour it out in here, and we'll just use that. Let's see, here we go. Well, it actually gives me a chance to look at some of the roots that went in there with her that are no longer any good, and we'll just use these scissors. They were sanitized already because I did not bring my whiskers, thinking I was just going to pull her out, pop her in, and keep on going. Well, well, well. That is not what happened. All right, takes care of that. Oh, she's got lots and lots of root tip growth here. So I will show you guys here in just a second. Let me get all these desiccated ones off first. Since we're here, we may as well go ahead and clean her up, right? No sense in putting all that in there. Now, had she just come right out and went in the way I thought she was going to do, then I probably would not have worried about cleaning her up. But since we do have her exposed and I can see them, go ahead and again set her up for the best success. We got us a nice brancher here, and let's make sure that we got all of the ones that we need to get off. You know what, let's take that piece off there. And remember, if it's just paper and you can just peel it right off, go ahead and cut it. Even if it's got branches on and good roots underneath it, it's not going to do you any good. All right, so let's just look at all of her new root growth. Do you see this? All of these. So she's got lots and lots of new root growth coming in. So this is actually good, because then she will definitely adapt to the more airy environment a little quicker, I believe, because those new roots will adapt. All right, well, let's put her in here and see what we can do here. I'm going to kind of put her in the center because, well, no, I'm going to actually set her a little back because she does like to kind of grow forward a little bit. And this turned out to be a little different than I was expecting, but what to do? C'est la vie. All right. And we'll hold her right here. Let's see, where is that one spike that I'm going to use here in a little bit? Dead spike right there. All right. And then I'm just going to put some of this right in the center. Uh-oh, got another one right there that I missed earlier. So let's just make sure that doesn't fall in there. There we go. Just around into the middle here. And then I will just take some of the larger bark, which was supposed to just fill her in, and put that around. Move this moss out of the way because her leaves are just all over the place here. She does have some very, very long leaves. And one of the reasons why she's sitting on, and I'm just going to take some of the moistened moss here, the moistened bark, and put it around here to keep encouraging that root growth going. All right. Just make sure here. And some of her roots are already coming out through the lay pot, some of these newer ones, so they will probably go ahead and dry off just because they're not used to that, and I was not ready for them to do that. I was hoping that the newer ones would just find their way out, but there we go. And then let me pull her up just a bit because I don't want her too deep in there. There we go. And just finish filling around then. Oh, goodness. Every time you think something's going to go the way you picture it in your head, these girls here just come back with, no, it is not going to work that way. I need to move that mouse all the way out of the way. She keeps hitting it, and I'm afraid I'm going to break one of these beautiful leaves. So, all right. So now, just do that. Move that out of the way. And then I'm going to go ahead and stake her. Let me go ahead. And I got some of this Velcro stuff at Lowe's or Home Depot, one of those two. But usually you find it over where they have like the tomato stands and the tomato planters and such. And I'm going to try using that to kind of help hold her up instead of the wire, because this has a really soft inner portion. It's almost like a little cottony, so that there's no damage done. And let's see, how do we want her to sit? So she's growing that way, so we want her to sit back this way. So what I'll do is, let's loop through this, through the base here. And there we go. And then I'm just going to wrap this one side first and let that hold. And then, let's see, move it a little bit over this way. Up. And I am putting the bamboo skewer a little bit through the holes here. Let's see, that is not going to work. Goodness. All right, so I'm going to have to wire the bamboo skewer first. Just reuse this wire here to the basket so it doesn't move, so that Miss Peachy can get secure in her pot. Because with all those new roots and everything going, I don't want her moving around too much. So it is as simple as looping through the basket and just hooking her on here. There we go. That's all I'm going to do. This way. Yep, this way she's not moving too much. And then I'll just wrap it for security reasons here, and then loop it one more time, and then twist it off just to make sure that we don't go anywhere. And because of where it is right there on the edge of the pot, if I want, once I get ready to take it off, if I decide to take it off, I can just take it off pretty easily. So let's try this again. Let's see, because I really want her to kind of sit like that. And then once I position her, then I'll finish getting the media and everything around her the way that I would like it to be. So let's do this piece first. Just twist it around there. All right. And then we'll take our second side here. Because the way she's growing forward. And so I don't want her coming out of the pot any sooner than she needs to be. There we go. All right, and then we'll just do it like that, and then I'll just keep twisting her around just to hold it on there. All right, so now that I have her there, let's get her settled back in and make sure that, of course, didn't bring a bamboo skewer to help get some of this media down in here either, thinking that, you know, I'm just going to take her out of the pot. This is going to be the coolest parlor trick ever. Well, this parlor trick failed miserably, but it's okay. There we go. Just more media right there for her to attach to. And I'm not obviously going to water her because I did give her a nice soak, and I did add a lot of the wet bark already to her. Now what I might do though is put some of the wetter bark up under here just to kind of help with humidity around those roots that are still on top. And they were on top before I took her out of the pot. So I think that's what we'll do, just to kind of help with them. And that one looks like it's trying to go in. I'm gonna let him do what he wants to do. Alrighty, well, instead of an up pot, I guess we did do a repot. Well, well, well. A little more here too. All right, well guys, that's that. And then we will keep an eye on her and see what she does, and hopefully she settles back in and doesn't go backwards. But like I said, she's got lots and lots of growing root tips, and I'm hoping that those don't decide to just fail on me. I may spray those every day just to kind of keep them going until they get a little more adjusted. But if you look, some of the wet bark is right next to them, so that should help keep them hydrated too. And of course, I'll have to keep an eye on her because now that she's in the basket, she is actually going to dry out a lot quicker than when she was in this Repot Me pot. Even though it has the slotted holes, the holes aren't as airy. So there is that. All right, well guys, thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for watching a repot. This should have been an up pot. One day we'll do an up pot. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.